This book has been written because it wants to send a particular message to the readers. The message is that no matter how you look, what counts is what you have in the inside. You may wake up every day looking like a different person, but what you have in the inside never changes. The protagonist in the book experiences numerous lives, and a reader could just see the protagonist as a male. Another reader could just as easily see the protagonist as a female or a transgender, and again, be just as correct. The protagonist is purely self. One day wakes up looking like a girl, while another wakes up looking like a boy, but always thinks the same way and has the same feelings. The point of view in the book is in first person. The narrator is also the protagonist. The point of view that the narrator wants to transmit to the readers is that the protagonist doesn't have a gender, which isn't determined by naming the protagonist with a neutral name, such as A, so that the reader won't be able to identify the gender of the protagonist. The protagonist can be both a male or a female or a transgender. The protagonist of the book is A, and A wakes up every day in a different body. The first day consists of inhabiting Justin, Rhiannon's boyfriend. Justin doesn't care much about Rhiannon, he takes her for granted. A falls in love with her. A visits her also when he is in another people's body. Rhiannon loves A too, but finds it hard having a relationship with him since he is in a different person's body every day. Hay also wakes up in Nathan's body. Nathan is a very organized person. He attends Steve's party where he melts into Rhiannon. Nathan is the one who becomes temporarily unaware of his actions, and having the police question why he's pulled over on the side of the road and sleeping overnight. A also wakes up in Kelsey Cook's body. Kelsey Cook wants to kill herself. Luckily, A was able to tell her father, and Rhiannon checked up on her afterwards. A also wakes up in Ashley Ashton's body. She's a supermodel, and life is so much easier for her. In the book, there are different perspectives. The author helped me understand certain constraints that some people face on a daily basis. I could find different themes in the book every day. One of the themes is that everyone needs a friend. A has always been lonely and has never really had friends till he meets Rhiannon. A second theme is that everybody has to be loved. A falls in love with Rhiannon and she brings the best out of A. The most important theme shows that no matter how you look, what actually describes you is what you have in the inside. The purpose of the documentary is to show how equality or inequality between women and men differs throughout the world. There are different narrators from all over the world that demonstrate how the role of the female varies in different places in the world. All the narrators have in common gender and age. This is the gender inequality between boys and girls of the same age. Boys our age say that only men are supposed to work and provide money for the family. They think that the woman has to be bought. She's a teenager that loves having fun with friends. She hangs out with them and does the same things that boys do. She hangs out by herself at night and enjoys her. She doesn't hang outside with her girlfriends. Her parents like for her to stay home. They think it's too dangerous. At home, she gets bored. She isn't allowed to play different sports while boys are, like basketball. She affirms that girls have a lot of pressure. She prefers to keep quiet in class because being loud is more for boys. The documentary showed me how in 2017 women don't have the same rights as men and how this issue differs around the world. The theme of the documentary is how gender inequality is still an issue around the world and how it differs throughout different countries. The purpose of the podcast is showing that men and women are equal as they are created to the image of God. Women and men are equal. The speaker tries to make the audience forget male and female because there is no male and female, but there is a continuum of traits that society has defined as maleness and femaleness. The speaker affirms he is not a feminist, but a Christian, because he believes in the fundamental equality of the sexes. Male and female are equal. They're both indispensable in order to procreate, and they help each other. The Bible says that God has created the man and then the woman to help him, but without devaluing the woman. They are both necessary in the Word. The book, the podcast, and the documentary are all connected. The book promotes gender equality, showing how men and women both have same feelings, so it's not the body you're in that describes you. The documentary talks and explains how gender inequality is still an issue, and the podcast promotes gender equality, saying that men and women are both the same because they're created to the image of God.
Okay. How does gender affect politics? It affects it in many ways. Probably the one that comes to my mind the most is that I feel that women are smarter voters in the United States. I think they're more analytical. They research the candidates and the issues more thoroughly, and then they come upon their decision based on their research and their experience and knowledge of the subject. I think they're more community oriented, which makes them trend toward being more decisive on their issues as they come forward. It's one of the reasons why, on the political arena and political front, you see the politicians constantly wooing the female voters because of their influence that they have not only on other female voters but also on the community and family at large. I think that they're more active, they're more engaged than their male counterparts, and I think that they really care about the outcome and how it's going to affect their family, their community, and their country.